Hello there and welcome back. So in this part we're going to work on the sink tap. So basically what we're going to do, we're going to take the bath tap here and we'll take it back out as sub D. Just going to make sure all the polygons are selected. I'm just going to copy that and I'm going to add a new layer, a new mesh layer, and I'm just going to paste it in. I'm just going to hide all these other layers just so we can get a good look at what we're working on here. Okay, and I'm just going to stick it in the middle of the world a bit just so we can just make our life a little bit easier. Okay, so we're going to create a new cylinder, the same as this base. So I'm going to get that sort of size, 8 pieces. I'm going to go over to perspective view. And I'm not worried about how long it is at the moment, as long as it's roughly right. Okay. Now this piece here, I'm going to cut this out and make a new layer. Stick it in there. I'm just going to call that handle for now. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to make sure snapping's on. We're on the grid. I'm just going to cut that there. I'm just going to grab that edge. I'm just going to bevel it. Let's see if we can have a bit of fun with this. Okay. Now what I'm going to do, I'm just going to select two and see what we can do with this sort of handle on the top here. We're going to bevel this in, same old as they say, just a wee bit there. I'm going to click in the viewport, grab just move it in the same sort of distance, same as we've done before really, nothing. I'm going to bring this, shift click, I'm just shift clicking each time. Just so when we go into sub D, we can see some sort of handle on the top there. Now I'm thinking that's a bit too big, so I'm just going to select the edges. I'm going to hold down the middle mouse button and just drag into the middle there, hit W key. I'm just going to just make it so it's not quite so dramatic, that groove. Okay. Now the top here we're going to do the same as we've always done before. Now I'm getting all this done now before I start adding it to this other section, just because it's just going to make our lives a lot easier if it's done. I want a rounding level of 1, just so it just remembers that middle. So that's quite a rounded top. That's quite nice. Yeah, I'm quite happy with that. Okay, for this top piece, I'm just going to select those. Maybe just select them. I'm just trying to think how we can get a nice, something a bit different here. And we're using our imaginations here, but no, there's no, I'm not following any sort of plan here. Okay, we'll try using Alt C, loop slice. Sorry, we don't want to. It's just going to try and loop all around. Okay, so we can't go that way. What we'll do, okay. Let's just hide those for a minute. I'm just removing these edges in here. We'll see how that's going to look. Just because we're going to keep. See, that's going to bulge out. What else we're going to plan to do? And this might look alright. We'll run with it and try. This poly here, I'm going to try and square that up. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to select these ones here, and I'm going to turn the work plane to align to this selection. I'm going to take that poly there and I'm going to scale it. I'm just going to scale it 0 in the Y, and that'll just flatten it up. Now I've got to be a bit mindful to how this is going to look when it's sub-D'd, so I'm going to put my snapping back on with my grid. I'm going to slice around the middle there, so I'm still not affecting the. And then these two polys here, I'm just going to bevel those out, say like that. Now I think you can see where I'm going here. I'm starting to get a little nub, if that's the word. I'm just going to cut them as well. I don't want any information. Let me just get rid of that work plane. I don't want any extra. Let's get rid of those. At least that'll bring this curve back here, so it's not bulging at all. So actually, I'm getting quite happy with this. Actually, this is a. So I'll grab those two again. I think I'm gonna go a bit further. We'll just scale it out by selection. Okay. Now I'm going to try and square this up a bit. At the moment that's not really in keeping with the rest of it. But that's no different to what we've done before. I'm just going to basically we're going to go around there. We'll go around there also. Actually, I liked it better when it was curvy to fit the tap. That's one of those things where you try something and you regret it later. Yeah, I think that's actually better like that. Because actually when it's sub D, this is all curved, so maybe that would look a bit silly of it being not curved. Let's just stick an edge. We've got 2 extra points. We've got 2 points sort of. This here, this line I put in here, this edge here, I just hit the C key just to basically slice. When you hit the C key, you can just select from where you want to slice it. You can just scroll up and down and find a new point and just scroll up and down. Now I'll just put an edge in. So that's all I did there. Now we seem to have a few points there. So if you want to join 2 points together, if you select the one you want to snap to last, you can see there's a error with the polygon there. So we'll select okay, we'll do geometry, verts, join. And now if you select the two, if you select the last one you select is one that will snap to, or when you do join, you can do average, and that will snap basically to the middle. Okay. Maybe just bring this bottom so it's not quite so drastic. That doesn't mean doing an Alt-C loop slice. I just want to put one in so the gap there, the similar sort of gaps, just so it. You could, if you want, as a test, we can just loop around these. We can do Alt-C as well and stick another one. So this is a square, and we'll just see how it looks like that. Okay, now we're getting there. And I like this. I do like this bend here, the way it goes from almost like 2 separate radiuses. Okay. So that's basically our handle. Now we need to find a way of cutting that into there. So what we can do, we can take the sync tab, which is this piece here, and go over to a side view, grab the handle, take the whole thing. Now I'm just going to go over to a perspective. Okay, it's okay. I'm just going to rotate it. And we'll sit it. Sort of like that, I think. Let's just have a look. Now it is very slightly larger. I think about there, we'll try it there. Okay, now what we're going to do basically is just try and basically cut this piece off this piece here. So we've got the handle selected. I've got all the polygons selected. I'm going to go up to geometry, Boolean, and Boolean, and we're going to subtract geometry from this piece which is selected, and we're going to use this background information to do that subtraction. So we're just going to hit OK then, just see what it's left us with, and it's done a pretty good job, as you can see. So I'm just going to turn on both pieces, and we're going to just see. Now it's made a few issues. With what's below. Okay, so now we're going to have to try and fix this. So this is not an easy task, so we're going to use the slice tool. I'm going to turn snapping on. I'm going to just pull across there, pull across there. Now these polys here we're going to actually kill, but we've got one point at the top here which is going to correspond with this vert there. We've got one here, so we've got 1, 2, we can ignore this one I think, 3, this one's going to come here, so we've got possibly 4, so we're going to loop around there, and we're going to do Alt-C. I'm going to put a count of 3 in. I'm going to click in the viewport. Let's just see now. That's going to be up there. That's going to be for that point there. That's going to be that one. That's going to be that one. Okay, that should do it. Now this one I'm going to bring down to roughly this point here. This one I'm going to bring down to roughly this point here. This one's good to go and that one's good to go. Okay, so next job is we'll kill just going to kill these. Actually, kill all the ones we know we need to lose to start with. Okay. Now we'll come over to the sync tab and see what's going on here. Over to vert mode. We can join these two. I'll average those. Delete these inner polys. Now the problem is with when you're doing these sort of booleans together and when you're joining things manually now, if you don't delete any inner polys you'll get issues when you come to do the sub D. So we're going to just join all these up, and any of these sort of polys here I'm just going to delete them out. So basically I want a nice neat set of polys. Now this is the issue, and if you get any problems when you go to sub D at the end, it will be because purely because you've left in some inner polys. Okay, I'll go back over to the sync tab. Now what I need to do, basically I need to grab this handle, grab all the polys, I'm going to cut it. Actually I'll copy it into the, I'll keep the handle just in case we make a mess up, then we can always come back. Now we're going to have a slight issue here, so I'm just going to grab, if we can, I'm just going to grab this vert out, just so we can see what's going on. These here, we can join these up, we've got too many there. We've also got an erroneous it looks like edge. So basically what I'm doing, I'm just trying to get this as clean as possible. I'm not too worried about this missing poly I've made there. I need to sort out this mess before we even worry about make sure there's no hidden issues. Now you may think, is all this worth it? And you could always just boolean away and just sort of just leave it, but if you're going into sub Ds, then these things do at times need to be right. If not, you'll get torn polygons. And it's not a hard task, as you can see what I'm doing. It's not, there's nothing drastic in it. The only issue you'll have, and we even could get this now when we're doing this, is that you've missed one. That's all I'll say. Like you may have left two polys there, or two verts, or a sort of small strip poly. So I'm thinking it's getting there now. I'm just gonna put this polygon back in here. So if we get to the end of this, you can see now, basically I've got I'm joining up as many things as I can. That's just a case of going around the verts and just hitting P key basically. See, when you're moving it, see, when you've done booleans, you don't know necessarily where it's cutting the geometry. And just because you cut it near a vert doesn't mean it was actually on that vert. So you can see there, like when you look at it, you think you've only got one sort of vert there, but it's actually, there can be a multitude. So I must admit, it's not the quickest. But you can see now, like before when I went in sub D, we had all these torn. As soon as you get torn polygons, you'll know there's an issue. Like here, that's just shouting out that there's a problem. And you know it's going to be down at the bottom of this. You can see these aren't coming together. So down the bottom here somewhere, in here, there's a. You can see, like even though I've got one selected, they're saying there's two there straight away. So we need to. You just need to basically just take your time really. And As long as you can sort of be mindful that you don't want to leave anything erroneous behind. See, even that doesn't look right to me, you know, it doesn't. Okay, but as you can see now, that looks a lot better. Now if you're going to sub D, you can see that's fixed all these issues. Now the only issues we've got, and this is a good test to see you're getting there, are these bits which join onto both of the actual parts of the model. So as soon as you get to this stage, you know you're on the road to recovery, so to speak. So to make things even more easy, I'm going to move this to that. So that means instead of doing average, I'm going to select that first. I'm going to move it to this one, so I'm selecting that second. And then I'm going to go over to join, turn average off, and that will snap back that way. I'm going to do the same here, because we don't want to be putting in more geometry than we need to, so that's basically why I'm going around now and just... Okay. So basically I want all these joined up, so it's just one vert there. I might as well do this as well, rather than have... Okay, we just check. So there's... I think we're there, But I don't want to plough on until we know we're there, so I'm going to check this, make sure there's just one vert in each of these. So I think, fingers crossed, we'll hit tab. Right, okay. Now the last remaining thing is that we're just going to select these in an anti-clockwise direction. I'm going to hit the P key and then you can see it's looking good. So there may be other ways of doing this to get these nice blended in. Like I say, the booleans is an option, but I like doing it this way. I know it's not very speedy and it is pretty labour intensive, but the results do speak for themselves. You can get some really nice blends between, especially if now you put extra edges in. You can really get a control over the sort of blending between them. Okay. Okay. Okay, so there's our handle blended in. Now the only thing I might do is just cut this so it's a wee bit back, so it's, but that's something we can do at the end when we start doing the final sort of rendering, because there is a few things I've seen already in the scene that I want to change, like the height of the sink, etc. Okay, so this handle we're going to keep, so I'm going to use that for the wall, for the bath tap. See, if you remember, the bath tap didn't have this little sort of handle on the end, so we're going to cut that off there and we're going to mount that on a little plate at the back there. Okay. So while I'm here, I'll do the sink, the change to the sink, which I've noticed, and that is just the fact that I'm just going to get the verts. Let me just check inside, make sure where the overflow is first. We'll take it out of sub D, that'll make life easier. I just want to basically get these polys here. I'm going to hit W. Let's turn that off. The sink is just, you know, it's just a monster. It's half the height of the bath, you know, so I'm just going to just cut it down. You know, we may even cut it down a bit more, but that'll do for now. These sort of things will come apparent as we start. So we're going to get the tap. That's going to sit on the end here, so we need to rotate it round 90. And basically I'm just going to move the base into the middle, and then just sit it. Sit it on the top. And we'll put it back into sub D. The bath tap. We just save this way. Do anything drastic. We'll make sure that's in sub D as well. Okay. So I got my little handle there, but we'll say we'll use that for the back wall. So that's the end of the sink tap. So that's showing you how to sort of weld two items together to get a nice blend. When we come back, we'll start on the hardware which holds the shelf to the wall there. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you back for that part. Bye for now.